Hello friends. I didn't bring the camera with me, so I'm just going to be doing some videos with my phone. Anyway, I wanted to share that Daphne and I are visiting birth family, and it is super, super special. We have this unique and amazing open adoption. I never knew how special, wonderful, amazing it would be. I mean, like, God really had to open my heart for that, and has really just been such a blessing. It's just been such a blessing. So anyway, but I wanted to share some stories from yesterday coming here. So first, Daphne and I get to the airport, and it was just so funny. We ran into some friends and they had their baby with them, and we all got to fly on the flight together. So that was really it was just such a treat. So we're there for a while. My flight gets delayed. And they were like watching my stuff so that I, went to the bathroom and didn't have to take it all with me or whatever. It was so sweet. And then, it just started getting really busy and crowds around because a couple of flights were starting to load after they had been delayed. And it's kind of just the thing right now. So this woman was sitting on the ground and she was saying hi to my friend's baby and then to me. And then we said, then their flight was gonna go, my friends, and I said goodbye to them. And then she's like, can I take their seat? And she sat there with me. And we got to chatting, and she's just asking all these questions about Daphne. She was super, super sweet. And we got on the conversation of why I was going to Texas, and it's we're going to visit her birth family. And she was like, you've adopted her. That's so, people always are so, so sweet and kind and saying, how amazing that is. And yes, it is such a blessing to us and our family to have this opportunity to just have this child in our life and have that privilege and honor of being their parent. So anyway, and she said, I'm adopted, and my aunt adopted me when I was 16, and I was just like, that's so amazing. She said that changed my life, and she started sharing a little bit, and then they announced over the speaker that their flight was boarding. So then she was had to go, and I said, well, what's your name? And she says her name, and then I reach out my hand to shake her hand, and I said, I'm Gloria. And her eyes started welling up, and she's like, I have chills. My aunt's name is Gloria, and that aunt is the one that adopted her when she was 16. And it was the sweetest connection. And she was just like, and I don't know if she is a believer or not. I don't know her, faith or anything, but she just said, how does God do that? And it was so sweet to have this encounter with her. And then she shows me a picture of her aunt real fast. And then she was like, I have to give you a hug. And we hugged, and she went on her way. And it was such a blessing. So it'll be fun to keep connected with her through social media. That is such a blessing when that kind of thing happens. So then I get into my next flight, and we land, and my ride was in traffic. So I was waiting, and I was outside and I was looking around at first because it was just okay, where's enough room that I can set my things down, but not on the gross ground, and that, and of course there's people on every single, bench or whatever. And this lady that just looked, she was just, I don't even know how to describe her, but amazingly, just beautiful and kind of bejeweled everywhere. I don't know how to describe it. She looked super fun, but she looked really almost a little shy, but looked really sweet. You could just kind of read someone when you look at them. I don't know. I feel like I can do that. I read, just kind of a demeanor. But anyway, so I was like, can I sit here and wait? And she said, yeah, I've been waiting. And we just started talking, and she was talking. I was saying, yeah, the place I was going to go sit was in the smoking section. And I didn't realize that there was. And she's like, there's a smoking section. And it was just really funny that, that there was a smoking section, for waiting. And so we were laughing about that, and she was saying what a smoker she used to be. And I was like, but you have beautiful skin. And I was just saying about her skin and how I tell my girls they need to take good care of their skin. And then she probably thought I was so weird for saying that, but because she was a Black woman, I wanted her to understand like where I was coming from. And so on my phone, I have our family picture, and I was just like, these are the girls I'm talking about. This is what I mean. And her face lit up, and she's like, you adopted? I was adopted twice. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I said, well, that must have been some journey. And so she was like, I'm here to visit my birth family. And I almost couldn't speak. It was just the craziest thing. And I said, I had Daphne and like the carrier. And I said, we're here to visit her birth family. And we just kind of like giggled, and she started saying, telling her story of how she found them on Ancestry, because she's tried for years, decades actually, to find her birth family. And she just had such an amazing story about being adopted twice. She is in her 50s, and so back then, and the state that she was in, I don't want to give any of these things away, didn't have any kind of like system. I mean, the system was not what it is today. And even today, there is a lot of work they need to do for these children. And the system can still fail. The parents, the adoptive parents, foster care system, which they don't even call foster care anymore, they call it resource. And these children, that's the main thing, is that protecting these children and keeping them in a safe environment and finding forever homes or reunification. So all of these things need work and can be improved even still today in 2022. So anyway, it was absolutely like this treasure of conversations throughout the day and encounters with first she came and sat next to me, and then I came and sat next to this woman, and I don't know, it was just obviously God's hand and work was in that. This was not random and coincidence. And even if it was, it's just such a beautiful thing to be able to hear these adoptees' stories and see where they've come from and listen to their heart. Because I think about what my girls would one day say when they know it would be touching somebody else's life and how that is impacting them right now, and then how that will impact somebody later, as well as themselves being able to share their journey, share their life, share their heart. And oh man, what a gift that will be and is today. And I wanted to share that. It makes me emotional. And I love what adoption can do. Adoption is hard. Adoption is amazing. I was saying a couple things, it's messy. It's beautiful. It's a journey. There's that storm and the rainbow. And I just pray that, the hope of adoption is what can keep others going. And the sadness and loss is true and there and evident, but to not have that overshadow what is beautiful and overcoming. So anyway, I mean, that was literally just yesterday. To God be the glory. This is all to glorify and honor him. And he allowed me to be a part of that. It's just amazing. Just amazing.